Okay, so hello everyone. I am Anubhav Mondol and I am a student of 4th year undergraduate BTech course from IIT Kharagpur, and I'm going to teach you chemistry, specifically organic chemistry now. And I'm not going, chapter wise, but I'm going, into more application based learning because I'm going to start with different kinds of reagent. Before I start, I would want to specify that the classes that I am going to take are specifically focused towards examinations like JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. And so let's start with it. So what we are going to learn is organic chemistry. Okay, and it would be more of an application based learning, provided that you have learned the basics already. So we are going to start with reagents today. Okay, reagents today. So what are reagents? If I wanted to talk about reagents, what are reagents actually, right? So in an organic reaction, what actually happens is that there is a substrate and there is a reagent. The substrate is a material on which we wanted the changes to occur for the reaction to get completed, okay, and finally to get desired products. And suitable conditions are taken to cause the reaction to move forward in a better way and to move forward in the first place actually. So reagent acts on a substrate and produces the desirable products that are used in further applications. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a few reagents, and the main procedure of my explanation would be in this format, that is the preparation of the reagent. Okay, first we are going to study about the preparation of the reagent. From there we are going on to move towards the mechanism of reduction or mechanism of oxidation, depending on the type of reagent it is or the mechanism of its action. And then we are going to study about the different substrates on which the reagent is going to act and the desired products that are produced, and maybe talk of a few real world applications of those reagents. Okay, so the first reagent that we are going to study about is known as lithium aluminium hydride. Okay, so there are many different kinds of reagents. The main types of reagents that we are going to classify, broadly classify reagents into, are oxidizing agent and reducing agents. Okay, so the first reagent that we are taking, that is lithium aluminium hydride, it is actually a reducing agent. What is it? It is a reducing agent. Okay, and it can be also classified or named as LiAlH4 or LAH for more handy use, and that's all. Okay, so starting with the preparation of this reagent is prepared by mixing two salts, okay, and that too under suitable conditions. So the two salts that we are going to take are lithium hydride and aluminium chloride. Okay, the lithium hydride and aluminium chloride, they are taken in dry ether, or you may use tetrahydrofuran as well. It is the solvent environment in which the reaction occurs. Alright, and on reacting they produce LiAlH4, that is lithium aluminium hydride, and along with that 3 molecules of lithium chloride, that is LiCl. Alright, and in this scenario the lithium atom has a positive charge on it and the aluminium atom has a negative charge on it, right? Now the thing is that here the thing is that we obtain this solution, okay, and since we haven't taken it actually in real world scenarios, it is not possible to take them in stoichiometric ratios. Okay, so we obtain a mixture of various kinds of our reactants, our substrate, and the products. So what we do is we first evaporate this. This is actually precipitated, that is lithium aluminium hydride is precipitated, and the entire thing is filtered off, and after that the solution that is left, that is the filtrate, it is then then evaporated, and the lithium aluminum hydride, that is the LaH that we have prepared, is obtained as a in its solid form. Okay, so the lithium chloride is actually precipitated. I'm sorry, the lithium chloride is precipitated, yeah, and the filtrate that contains all these three things is then evaporated, and the final substance that we obtain here is lithium aluminum hydride in the solidified form. Okay, so that is the basics of its preparation. And you may wonder why we take a solvent like dry ether or tetrahydrofuran. The reason being that the lithium aluminum hydride that is produced, it is a highly inflammable solid. Alright, and since it is soluble in solutes like dry ether and tetrahydrofuran, we dissolve it in that environment, and the production is less dangerous, and you can understand actually. Yes, okay. So next we are going to talk about the mechanism of the reaction. So lithium aluminum hydride is mainly a reducing agent. Alright, it is a reducing agent. Now if you go along, if you study the chain of the functional groups, you may understand that first we have the alkanes with the maximum number of hydrogen. Then we move on to the alkenes where the hydrogens are decreased by 2. Then we have the alkynes. Again, there is a decrease in hydrogen. I'm not going to write there. The hydrogen decreases. From here on, you have a decrease in hydrogen as we go to alcohols or alls, and there is an increase in oxygen. Next, you move again. We have another decrease in hydrogen as we move from alcohol to our ketones and alkanals. Okay, alright, and then there is an increase in oxygen again as we move from them to our acids. Alright, so what do you see here? The decrease in hydrogen is occurring and increase in oxygen is occurring. So what does that mean? The decrease in the number of hydrogen means that the process of oxidation is taking place, right? Decrease in hydrogen or increase in oxygen, both of them, we can conclude the same thing from this, that oxidation process is occurring, right? And so what you can see is that as we go up the chain of the functional group from alkanes to our acids, process of oxidation takes place at each step, and if we want to go in the reverse direction, we have to perform reduction. Okay, so if we want to perform reduction on the carbonyl compounds or the alkanals, we get alcohols from there. We should get. So our first substrate that we are taking to show the mechanism of the working of lithium aluminum hydride are the alkanals. Okay, so we have here an alkanal, say R1, R2, C double bond O. Okay, you can say it's a ketone or an aldehyde, whatever it is. We have the lithium aluminum hydride here. Alright, we have aluminium, we have 3 hydrogen, we have lithium, and let there be another hydrogen. Lithium has a positive charge, aluminium has a negative charge. Alright, now since the as you know, this carbon in the carbonyl compound is highly electrophilic. Alright, it is highly electrophilic, and this hydrogen is highly nucleophilic. Alright, so it is in love with the nucleophile, right? So what happens is that it goes and it opens up from here, and it goes and directly attacks this nucleophilic carbon at the carbonyl. As a result, what happens is that this double bond opens and it comes up as a negative charge on the oxygen. So we move on to the next step that occurs here, is something like this. R1, R2, we have our hydrogen here, and we have this and this, and it's in a state like this. Alright, and the negative charge here is satisfied, but the problem is that it now comes in a ionic format. Alright, so what happens is that negative charge from the oxygen, alright, it is carried on to the aluminium atom in the lithium aluminium hydride. And since the aluminium has a vacant orbitals, it acts as a Lewis acid and it takes up the electrons from the oxygen atom. Alright, it takes up the electrons from the oxygen atom and it comes up here, and we get an intermediate compound that looks something like this. We have R1, C, R2. Here we have the hydrogen that had attacked the nucleophilic carbon. Then we have this, a beautiful looking like this. This is a complex that is formed, and these three hydrogen react with three other molecules of R1, R2, C double bond O, alright, to give the similar complexes, and finally what we get is a complex like this. And this comes 4 times, alright, because 3 carbonyls come from here and 1 carbonyl we have shown as it attacked, and the 4 carbonyls attack in a similar manner to finally form this type of a complex. And finally we do an acidic hydrolysis on this complex, alright, and when we do an acidic hydrolysis, what happens is that the oxygen gets the hydrogen and the OH minus comes here, okay, along with the lithium aluminium, and oxygen's negative charge attracts the hydrogen, and finally what we get as a product is this, 4 molecules of this along with Al, Li, Al, OH, and there was HCl as well. Alright, so what happens is that this is formed along with this, alright, and okay, if you can't see, so the final product that is formed is 4 molecules of this alcohol along with this product, and then this breaks again to give us lithium hydroxide along with AlCl3 and 4 molecules of this. So this is the entire mechanism of its reduction process of lithium aluminium hydride. Now we are going on to see some substrates on which lithium aluminium hydride acts and how it acts and what product it produces. Okay, so I'm going to list here the substrates along with the final products that are produced. Alright, so first we have RCHO. Okay, it produces RCH2OH. You can understand using the mechanism that I have shown before. Alright, then we have RCOR or R1COR2. We have RCH, OH, R1 and R2. Alright, next if we apply it on alcohols, alright, if we apply it on alcohols, we get the reduction 2 times because it is a very strong reducing agent. Remember, lithium aluminium hydride is a very strong reducing agent. Alright, it can reduce even functional groups like acids as well. Okay, this is it. Now if we take functional groups like the esters, right, if we take functional groups like esters, there again we get 2 different kinds of alcohols, right? This is another thing. Now if I go for another one like you can take groups like this as well, that is the cyanide group. Alright, what happens in this reaction with cyanide group? Again you can see that this carbon here is highly electrophilic, so the nucleophilic hydrogen of the lithium aluminium hydride again comes and attacks here, then the bond breaks here, and the same mechanism is followed for this as well, and the final product that we get here is RCHO, or along with that you may also get another side product as RNH2. Alright, you can get both of these products here. Now if I consider another example, like okay, yeah, okay, this is a good example here. You can take this. Okay, so this is a nitro group, right? If you take this one, what happens here is that on reaction with lithium aluminum hydride, an interesting reaction occurs and we get its reduction done to an amide group, right? From here to here, this is an important example and you should remember this for your JEE Mains examination and JEE Advanced examination as well. But the more important thing here is that if we take this, that is a nitro group, attached to an aryl group. Okay, this is an even more important example because if you do this here, this is entirely wrong. The thing that we get here is a diazo linkage. Okay, I hope you remember this, and this is a very important example. Yeah, so here this is a very important example. I hope that you remember this, and this may come in your exam also because many times this question has been asked in JEE Mains. And okay, this be the last example. Let's take this. Okay, this is an isocyanate group, as you can see. On the reaction here with lithium aluminum hydride, we get this thing as a product. Alright, what we get is this, and this is an amine. This is an amine which is a 2-degree amine, and what we got here was a 1-degree amine. Alright, so this is some practical uses of the lithium aluminum hydride. I hope nothing more than this would be asked in your exam like JEE Mains. For JEE Advanced, I would be going up to some more facts and details, but for now let's stop here. I hope you liked it, and please do like, share, subscribe, and do comment wherever you feel difficulty. I would be very happy to answer all your questions and thoughts. So that's all. Thank you very much.